we use a lens to analyze the structure of a text, there's two layers to using this kind of lens. The first layer is what we did today. We identified the parts of a scene. We tried to name the parts of the plot mountain that we recognized, and we identified the structural techniques that the writer was using within each of those parts. Well, the second layer to using this structural lens is to figure out the purpose of those structural techniques. Why did the author use a big section of dialogue, say? Or why did the author want to incorporate some of that inner thinking? What purpose does it serve? What's the point? So when you're using this structural lens, you need to make sure that you're doing both layers. You're identifying the parts of the scene and the techniques that are used, and you are figuring out what purpose those techniques serve in that particular spot. So there's about 3 or 4 different purposes that you might start to recognize when you're analyzing the structure of a text and using these lenses. And the first one is that part of the purpose of any one of these techniques that the writer uses is to just set the stage of the story, to introduce setting or character. And you need to figure out why the writer wants to introduce a character in a particular way, or why would they start with setting instead of description of a character. The second purpose that you might recognize is that a writer wants to reveal something. They might want to reveal a particular character trait. They might want to reveal something about a character's personality. They might want to reveal something about a connection between two characters. So something is being revealed. The third purpose that you might recognize in any of those techniques that you've named would be to create some suspense or to create conflict or tension. So what is the conflict or tension, and why is that conflict or tension being created between two characters? What's the purpose of it? What's the outcome of that conflict or tension? And finally, you might recognize that the purpose of a particular section of text or a technique is to foreshadow something that's about to happen. And you would need to figure out why that foreshadowing is happening. What else does that tell us about the conflict in the story? So those are 4 different purposes that any one of those structural techniques might serve. And so we're going to practice figuring out what purpose each of those sections in our short story serves. Okay, so we'll do that tomorrow in class.